Garland, head wrestling coach at the University of Virginia, giving my weekly video newsletter. We just got fresh off of a big match with Virginia Tech down at the Moss Arts Center down in Blacksburg. I'll start there. It was an absolutely beautiful venue. I can't give those guys enough credit. I mean, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I was kind of speechless, which if anybody knows me knows that very rarely happens. But I really couldn't say a whole lot other than wow when I walked in, and their crowd was great. I think some of their fans probably need to be educated a little bit on their heckling skills and what they were saying to us. But I do want to give credit to those. I just thought it was amazing. It was so cool. It was sold out. It was packed, and the kids really enjoyed the venue. So all that was really positive, and they pulled it off. And I think it's going to be something great if they can keep that going. And frankly, hopefully we can do something similar here. I mean, we've got some beautiful facilities here. Maybe we can kind of take that idea and run with it on our end. But the dual meet, we lost 18-16, so it was 5-5 split on the wins, and they won on bonus points. So to put it bluntly, before I go through the matches, they did more than us. They out-wrestled us, and so they deserved the win. I thought the first time we wrestled them with the 16-15, I really thought we did enough to deserve the win. I thought we wrestled hard enough. I thought we were so close to getting those bonuses that would have put us up, and we would have won by a point. This time, we were down going into the last match, and Nick had to pull out borderline miracle and pin a guy who was trying not to get pinned, and it didn't happen. He ended up getting a major decision, and he wrestled great. We're proud of him. It wasn't, we didn't wrestle well enough in those other matches to put us in position to be winning that, is what I'm saying. And so, and I'll get to that in a second. So the bottom line is that they won, and they deserved it, and they did a great job, and obviously they're a really great team. So. For us, though, it was coming out of there hurt. We lost by 1 point last time, 2 points this time. We got to find a way to learn from it, to get over the hump, and then be able to, at the ACC Championship, hopefully bring home that title, which obviously they're the favorites for right now. So it gives us a great goal to work towards. Individual bouts, I'll go through them quickly. We started the match off. They wanted to draw, so we started at 174, which was awesome. Blaze Butler and Epperly, one of the key marquee matchups of the day. Epperly, for those who don't know, is a total freak. He's a total stud. He's not a normal redshirt freshman. He's actually ranked in the top 10 all year. He beat Brown from Penn State. He's beaten so many good guys. He's really good. And so Blaze was able to get a double leg in the first period, and then ended up winning 3-2. That was the only takedown of the match. So, Blaze knows he could have done more late, and that's something he's going to be working on. But his defense looked great. His movement, his grit and determination, and his consistency in the way he prepares and the way he competes was absolutely awesome. And he's become one of the most consistent forces in our program. He's that pillar of consistency, which a kind fan made fun of us for during the dual meet. Thank you, buddy. I told him after the match, is that something why that hurt me so bad to hear it, because that pillar, I prayed about that pillar for years. That pillar means the world to me, and not just in wrestling, but more importantly in life. And so what Blaze has now become is a pillar of that to his teammates in the way he prepares, the way he eats, sleeps, trains, the way he approaches everything in his life. And so it was exciting to see him be consistent again. So we're very proud of Blaze. 184 was not a great match for us. James is a great kid. James Subak wrestled for us at 184. Tyler Askey's been wrestling for us. Subak lost by 2 points to this Gable, very good wrestler. Last time they wrestled, so we took another shot at it, and this time it wasn't close. Gable out-wrestled us and ended up getting a major decision. That bonus point we were disappointed with. But James, nobody's more disappointed than James. I mean, James is a kid that cares. He loves his team. He's become one of the guys that he brings a smile to my face every time I see him. I mean, he's one of those kids that just he's become near and dear to my heart. So it hurt to see him lose like that, and we're hoping that he really uses this as a sort of springboard for the rest of his career. So what's he going to do now type thing? How's he going to react to this, and what's he going to improve on and fix in his game? 197, Zach Nye won, like he always does. We told him after the match, again, consistency. He's not going to ever light the world on fire with 1,000,000 points, but he gives you the same heart, the same effort, and the same fight every time he goes out. He won. That was a big match for us in the dual meet. If we were going to win that duel, we needed that one. Heavyweight, Pat Gillen fought his tail off against the 9th-ranked guy in the country and lost by a point, 3-2. Pat's steadily gotten better every single day. The last 2 months in particular, he's just really skyrocketed, and he looks big, he looks strong, his shape is great, he fights hard, and it's just really cool to see his development, and we'll stay tuned on him because he's got a big upside there. 125, their guy Joey Dance is an absolute stud. I think he's ranked 3rd in the country, and he got bonus points against us there. And I think Will, as the match started going on, our guy Will Mason was wrestling. Nick Herman's been wrestling, but Will was in for this dual meet, and he was really excited for the opportunity to compete, and he gave it everything he had, but I think he was overwhelmed at times in different positions, and so we need to go back and break it down and figure out what we can do next time to make that better. 133, George DiCamillo beat a nationally ranked guy 4-0, completely controlled the match, was never in danger, did a fantastic job on top in particular. So George, again, consistency with that same pillar. So again, thank you to that fan who brought that to my attention. It was just such a great thing to see him, say, this is how I wrestle, no matter who it is or what this guy's trying to do against me, I'm going to be George DiCamillo. So it was great to see that. So now you can see we're starting to, the match was back and forth the whole way. Then at 141, they didn't have Devin Carter wrestling. We had a lot of guys out as well, but, make no mistake, it was a big deal that they didn't have their best guy in, Devin Carter, who had majored us the last time. So him not being out opened the door for us, and Van Hoos took advantage of that and was able to get a big win that he needed. And we're just so proud of Justin. That was one of the storylines of the day, was that Justin, who's been, when Joe Spisak went down, he popped in, got down to weight, and has done everything he can for this team, but he's been losing heartbreakers, 1-point matches, one after another, and he finally was able to pull this one out. So it was really good. Everybody was going nuts on the bench. I think that's the most excited the bench was the whole day. At 149, Gus Seiko's still out. TJ Miller hurt his knee against Pitt, and everybody knows that. We had an update on that last week. So Yank stepped up, and Yank was in there. Chris Yankovic, he wrestled one of their best guys, 9th-ranked guy in the country, and he gave up a major decision there. It was just overwhelmed. I mean, that kid's really good. And, again, much like in the Will Mason match, I think things started to unravel a little bit, and he couldn't regain composure. And so it was another great learning lesson for him, and then hopefully for the team as well, as we have to be able to pull that back in, because at the NCAA tournament, that can't happen. So we're going to learn from that. 157, they had one of their best guys. Arguably, he's an already returning All-American. Bruschetta, one of the leaders of their team. He was first match back since November. Came off injury just in time for us, and went out there and beat Andrew Atkinson. I don't even know what the score was, but he looked good. I mean, he's a stud. 65. So now, if we pin, we can win on criteria. I think it was, but it's obviously very hard to do, and Nick went out and wrestled his tail off and did great, and ended up winning 12-3 and got the major decision. He looked awesome, and that was a big one for Nick, because the match got a little out of hand last time they wrestled that young man, and he only won by 2 points, I think, and he was ticked about it. So he went out there with a purpose to control the match, and that's what he did. He controlled it. He wrestled great, and so got the major decision and brought the final score to 18-16. So that's the run of the dual meet. The score was close the whole way throughout, and just right now we're just doing everything we can to try to get guys healed up, and also just keep with the guys we do have, just keep improving. We were in the room all morning today, Coach Gavin and I, and we're working hard to try to get our guys better. And so we've got the light at the end of the tunnel now. We have Chapel Hill this weekend coming up, big match, conference match, a lot of individual matchups that'll be important for us. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next week.